Hello there. I am so glad that you're here tonight. I know that we're doing things a little differently, like with the intro and stuff, but Carl is on scene at a at an event, and so he is just cranking me up and letting me roll. It's he should probably be a little afraid. So anyway, I am really going to have a good time tonight. Y'all know that last weekend I was at the Ozark Mountain UFO conference, and I have a couple of interviews that are going to be running. It's going to be fun. And so one of them is with Steve Bassett, who is one of my heroes in the UFO field. He is so out there about getting things to the public. And we had a really good interview. And the other one was with Jim Segala, and that's going to be great too. Y'all are going to love that. He is on well, heck, he's been on Skinwalker. He's been on, oh my goodness, what is the name of that other ranch? There's three, and he's been on two. So anyway, it's going to be the Blind Frog Ranch one was interesting because he talked about the different levels of sensation and experience and the difference in the feel of the two. So I found that interesting. I think y'all will too. So that's two really good interviews coming up for you. But this is a live, really good interview. And I'm pretty excited because this is with Jim Couto, and he is one of the people that make you want to investigate in the paranormal. He's very much about that. He is part, well, actually, he's part of the reason there even is a Dark Realm TV here. He has been absolutely involved in trying to bring paranormal events and experiences to the public so that trying to learn about it and get out and doing the investigation catches people's eye. I mean, there's so much to learn. And, you know, this is somebody who I know Jay Lynch, and y'all have heard Jay Lynch on here a couple of times. You've heard him with Teresa. You've heard him without Teresa. It is something to see. But Dark Realm TV it's paranormal, it's cryptid, it's UFO aliens, it's urban legends, it is horror podcasts and production. So there are television shows, there are films, there's all kinds of stuff. And this is one of the men that makes that so, and who gives me the opportunity to bring my shows to you through Dark Realm TV. So, Joe Couto, hello.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you? I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm living the dream.
Well, what did I leave out about you?
Um, that I'm
The
19 years
laser.
old.
But how many times?
Oh, quite a few.
Well, I can't
Quite a
go
few.
there. I've got more of
You
them
see
than
the
you do.
gray? You see the gray right there? Yeah.
You see the blonde, it used to be brown.
Well,
So there's that. But this is our first time to actually get to
yeah.
sit down and have a conversation, and I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah, I told you. I told you I'd be on my best behavior, so
Uh-oh. That's good, right?
absolutely.
Yay. Well, Tom McNicholas says hello.
What's up, Tom? How you doing, buddy? I haven't seen Tom in a while.
I haven't either. And I was just up in Arkansas, and I thought that he might pop in, but we have been online friends for at least 5 years that he's been following me. So I really appreciate him.
Yeah, Tom's a good guy.
Yeah. So I have to ask you,
He is.
you are you're very patient for one thing, and I do know that because you tried to help me set up a laser that night. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm trying to do like product demonstration as we're pulling it out of the box and we're getting everything going. And I'm like, this isn't working. And you were so patient. And so thank you for that.
You know
But
what? Anytime I can help, I know I've been in those shoes not too long ago. So,
yeah,
yeah.
thanks though. Because Carl tries to guide me through things and I have actually produced things. So I'm feeling like I'm getting ahead of the game. But to get up to y'all's level is going to take a little while.
Nah,
Probably.
I don't
Now,
think so.
my husband is a genius with when it comes to things like that. We own a machining business and he does CNC work all day long. And I'm just like, oh dear. So I can push the button
That's
when
something
I
I
have
haven't
to.
gotten into yet, the CNC, but
It's,
I
oh man.
really, I would like to, but
Well, I was trying
baby
to see.
steps.
Oh, yeah. He made a coin for our second trip to Scotland. A group of friends and I go. And I was trying to see if I had that coin sitting here because it's just absolutely beautiful. Oh, I do. And this is what he does. Like there's,
Oh wow.
and then the flip side, and one of the guys has a laser engraver and he did a lot of that. And then there's that.
Oh nice.
So, you know, and that's what made me decide that I wanted to start learning how to use a laser engraver because the part that's CNC'd, yeah, that's amazing. Hello, Jay.
Jay, what's up, brother?
I
Nah,
thought it said
lasers are
sassy. It
fun.
said sexy. They are fun.
They are fun. They're dangerous. Trust me. I am
Yes.
living proof of that. Um, um, I have almost nicked myself with the laser. Um,
Oh,
but
at
I
least it's
didn't.
an almost.
But I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have started a couple fires though.
Have you really?
Hmm.
How big?
Oh, just little ones.
Oh, okay. I can live with little
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
So
Lasers don't do well with cardboard.
good to know.
So,
Good to know.
well, okay, I should say cardboard and high power.
Well,
So, what
cardboard
watt is
doesn't.
yours?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Is it 80, Carl?
80.
He
Ooh.
says no, no, no. He says no.
I was gonna say that's a big one.
50, 50.
50?
5?
Okay. Oh, okay, a 55 watt. All right.
Okay.
That'll do that
We're
that'll do a
close enough.
lot. That'll do a lot. It really will. I mean, I just upgraded myself up to the
Well, no,
48.
mine is, I don't understand what he's saying. 5. Have I lasered a tattoo yet? Oh, have you lasered a tattoo yet?
It's a
Carl's,
5 watt laser.
thank
Oh,
you.
okay, she has a 5 watt. All right.
Yeah,
It's
she
just a
has one
baby.
of the little ones.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
But I also bought the
little.
vacuum because it stinks.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Carl. Because I was like, this is not a big laser. So
No.
I
Like I
do
say,
burn wood.
my newest one is it takes up. I've got a 6 foot like foldable table, and
Hmm.
it takes up more than half of it.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
this is the kind of thing that I laser. This one's not yet because it's just sitting over here holding stuff. But that's the kind of thing that I do, and I wanted to do things, with Fate magazine so that I could have things to hand out
Oh,
because I
absolutely.
hand out the magazines, but I like having the other things too. So I'm getting
Yeah.
there. I got little, they look kind of like tongue depressors, but that's not what they are. They're
Oh,
just to
yeah.
do and all kinds of things. But to get up to where y'all are is going to take me a little while, I think.
Nah.
So,
Careful though, it's addictive because, I I now have 4 lasers. And
yeah.
like I started off with what I thought was a 5 watt, ended up being like a 2.5 watt. I got gypped. And
Oh,
but I mean, I was able to do like slate coasters,
Hmm.
wood, stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then I upped it to a 10 watt, and I bought a 10 watt. Then I bought a 22 watt, and now I have the beast, the
The
48
beast.
watt. It'll cut a. I mean, I the first night I had it, put it together, and once I got it working because I did a stupid thing and it wouldn't work for a while. But once I got it working that first night, I think it was like a 1 inch or yeah, I think it was like a 1 inch board that I cut right through it one pass.
Wow.
So I just
That's a
tested.
big piece of wood.
I was just testing to see what it would do. And it definitely doesn't disappoint, but now I'm struggling trying to find power settings
Hmm.
to do certain projects that like I have to really like lower the like down to like 15-20% power. Did you plug it in? Oh. Yes, I did plug it in, Jay. I just didn't plug it in. I didn't plug it in with the correct power source. So, yeah.
Gotta
Oh,
love your friends, right?
I was cussing the company. Oh man, I was heated.
Well, I was confused that night that we were trying to get mine set up. And I'm sitting there looking at it, and it seems so straightforward, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I know that I've not seen one of these, held one of these, but it's a device. I can operate devices. I'm good with technology. I'm good. This is not something that should be defeating me here. And it was very awkward. And, I'm trying to be smooth with it and not acting like I'm completely dumbfounded by this
Yeah.
technology stuff. And it was just so funny. And then when I got over, because I was actually kind of intimidated because it was new to me. And also funny because I don't intimidate easily. So that was really a weird evening. And I'm glad that it was over and that we moved on to the next phase of
They're
actually
fun. I
producing
mean they
something.
are. Like I said, I
They
I
are.
knew I knew nothing about laser engraving. I was actually doing wood burning by hand. And
Really?
oh yeah. And
Oh my gosh, that's talented.
oh, and it was taking and I mean hours. Like sitting there for half a day like doing this and I'm old. I mean, I'm 19 a few times. And like my hand was cramping up, so I'm like, "Oh, there's got to be a better way." And I don't know if like TikTok or someone was listening to me, but all of a sudden there's these ads for these laser engravers and I'm like, "Huh." And I'm like, "Man, I can't afford one of those." And then I found one, it was less than $200 and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Eh, what's the worst that can happen? The wife's going to get mad, right?" Eh. So I bought one. And
Yeah.
then got going with that and Carl helped me out like incredibly cuz I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then it was like, okay, this is boring, so I upped it. Went,
Right.
you know, 10 watts and then I was doing all kinds of stuff and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." Then I'm like, "Wow, how big do these things go?" And I was
Yes.
on Amazon and I was like, "Ooh, 22 watts. I can do glass really good with this." And I'm like, "Okay,
Can you?
done." Oh yeah. So I bought one. Actually,
Do you have a
I get
piece there?
I have this was done with my new one. So I got some tests
That way.
done on it, but as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see that.
Well, not incredibly well because my glasses have,
Yeah. So
departed the desk
it says
area.
"which please."
Oh my word.
And
You know what?
then
I really need one of those. I need to make one
this
of
one
those.
this one I actually did with the 22 watt.
I
It's
love
Dark
that.
Realm.
Yes.
This one. And then of course this one was done with the new one.
Hmm.
Got our stirring the
What is
pot
this?
logo. Stirring the pot.
Yes.
So
Which is actually a great name for a show.
I don't know why we would name it that, but I mean, yeah, I mean we started I mean, like this is just a plain slate coaster
Mhm.
that I did. Um, that was done with the new one, but yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do. Well, hell, I've been drinking out of this tumbler.
Yes.
I mean, I'm doing like I. So I also make candles also with my
I
tumbler,
did know that.
and I actually went from the regular sticker labels for the candles to actually engraving my logo and the name of the candle and all that on the side of the candle. Like,
That's cool.
um, so like I got like,
Yes.
and that's all laser engraved.
The whole
I
thing.
Yeah, yeah. I just literally instead of doing a label, I put them on
I
the
like that.
rotary and I do the design there. I've got one. Well, there it is. This one. This is the big project that I'm just.
Oh, I like that.
That is for Back from the Dead TV series
Hmm.
with Santiago. Um,
Yeah. Well,
doing
Santiago.
I'm doing an exclusive candle for them for the show.
That's
So
cool. That's one of the things that I like about being part of Dark Realm is that y'all do support so many people. And I mean, you support me, which is greatly appreciated. But, it's just cool that people have an outlet, a place to come and do this and be able to bring information and, like with the laser show, teach people how to do something. It it's cool. It's such a
it,
diverse network.
we love it. We love it. We love everyone that's on the network. Everyone that has helped us get to where we are. Um,
Yeah.
this was this was one of our harebrained ideas, and it actually came to life. And it's we're very proud of it and proud of everyone that puts in the effort doing their shows and movies, and so it's just awesome. And it's a place where anyone can come and do it. You don't have to be some quote Paris celeb and all this other crap. um you know
It's
we
a good thing.
we went so many years, like, the three of us doing all these conventions all over the country,
Mhm.
and year after year, every time we're always here, meeting just your average paranormal team or whatever. And they're always wanting to film their episodes. Everyone wants to be on TV, right? And but they're like, no one will take us or take us serious because we haven't been on TV before. We don't have 10,000 followers on Facebook and this, that, and the other. And we heard it every convention we were at. And we've been talking about it for a few years. And it's like, God, man, wouldn't that be so cool? We should just have our own network, blah, 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 blah. And that's about how long it lasted. There was always talk. And then I got approached by somebody, a a streaming network that was like, hey, we like what you do. Would love to have you on the network. And I'm like, send me some info, blah, 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 blah. They sent me like this questionnaire thing. Well, how many followers do you have? Have you ever been on TV? I mean, it was just strictly something right out of like a production company would do, How many,
What can you do to help us be bigger?
yeah. And I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, dude, I got like 3 followers. Like, yeah. And I wasn't good enough then. So I'm like, oh, all right. So I went back and told the guys, and they were like, you know what? That's it. And we got together with like BD Morgan and Gary, and BD's like our IT guy. He is the backbone. He is the guy behind the curtain. And he was like, yeah, I can do this. And it's all writing code and doing this and dealing with too much for me. And
Too much for me.
so then, yeah, it was like boom. And November will be 2 years. And we have had, up to this date, we have had new content every single week for
That's
over a
amazing.
year. Yeah. And
That's
you know what?
brilliant.
And it's like anybody. hey, you know what? We get messages all the time. Well, you know, what do we have to do to get on the network? Or how, you know, do we have to? No, man. It's your stuff. You know, we don't own any of the content unless it's ours. But you know, people wanting to bring their shows on, we don't own your content. We don't tell you how to film it. We don't tell you how to edit it. Um, it's your story. You know, um, the only stipulation we have is like there's no hate speech or any kind of bullying, any kind of that crap, because we won't deal with that. But no, I mean, you could be a seasoned investigator, seasoned filmmaker, to someone that films on their phone, that just wants to put content out there, wants people to see that what they're doing. So it's like, come on.
Well, that's actually brilliant because there's so many. I mean, I actually got deplatformed, so nobody knew where to find me for a while. And that was weird because I'm the most pretty much goody two shoes person on the planet, and I'm like, what happened? But then it was just so crazy. And when I started back, I was just kind of doing my own thing, you know, and I really, I love what I do. And I love investigating and I love going to conventions and talking to people. I I just enjoy the paranormal.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. I have been on TV, but it was a horrible experience. But it was fun, but I had a hole in my shirt and nobody told me.
Oh,
It's like, oh my goodness, there's a lot more of me than I anticipated. It wasn't a lot more, but it was just one of those moments that you're like, huh, it seems that somebody could have said something
yeah,
because
you
I
would
had no
think.
idea. Yeah, I know, right? But it was just one of those moments in time that I was like, well, trust me when I say I will not do any, oh, I'm tense, let's stretch a little bit things ever again. So, but it is what I do when I get tense. But I do love what I do. And I love that I get to talk to people that love the paranormal too. And how lucky am I, right?
Oh,
Because
it's great.
people people that have been to places that I haven't been able to get to yet. And yeah, I noticed that you had been in what is her last name? But oh goodness, it'll come to me. I'm sorry. But you were just at an event and someone that had been on with me recently was there with you. And I thought, oh, this is just too fun. I'm going to go look at this. Everything y'all were doing was just fascinating.
Trying to think the
And
last one we went to.
I think it was.
Hmm.
And Carl's not there. But I could ask him because he remembers everything. But one of the things that I found was so cool is that you've been to places that are still on my bucket list because I don't get up north very often. Usually Ohio is about as far as I go. And I'm just really fortunate that I get to go to the places that I do. But where are some of the places that you have filmed that really just kind of made you go, ooh, this is absolutely fantastic?
Um, oh my God, there's a few. Like I've been out to like Baraboo Inn, right, and which is close to me. Um, that's a great location. I've had some weird things happen there. I've heard voices and I've had witnesses with me. Yeah, it's nuts. But probably the one that stands out the most, and I had left the paranormal field for a few years. Just all the drama and all the paranormal turf wars, and I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, man, I'm too old for that crap. So I
And
I
it takes the
left.
fun out.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So I walked away from it, and I stayed in touch with a lot of people, but I wasn't out actively doing anything. Well, then I went to Ohio, went down to Toledo, or over to Toledo, whatever, and met up with Jay and Jason, and we were at the Collingwood Arts Center, and I was doing some YouTube stuff here and there, and so I was like, hey, and they were like, yeah, go ahead, man, take your camera, go wherever, go film. So I was, okay, I was by myself walking around this building, and I don't remember what floor I was on, and I'm sure Jason's in there, he can tell me exactly where I was.
In there.
But walking down this hallway and I'm filming, just kind of talking to myself, whatever. And I get about halfway down this long hallway and I hear a female behind me say, run. Clear as day. And I froze. Like I could not move. And I turned around. Obviously, no one was there. And my only thought was, man, please let me have got this on the camera.
Right. Yes.
And I was just freaking out. I did not make it down the hallway. I will tell you that. I turned around and I went back downstairs. And got downstairs and I'm telling the guys what happened and they're like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I'm like, oh, shut up, and I played the
Ever
video.
helpful.
I played a video back and there it was.
No way. That's excellent.
Yep. And ever since then, I've dove back in. So
It does call you, doesn't it?
it does. It
I mean, if you love it, you love it. And you,
yeah. And that's the thing. And me being skeptical about it, like a majority of the stuff, it's they always say, well, we're out there to find answers to questions. Well, you can do that, but for me at least, once I think I have an answer, then I
Mhm.
have 6 more questions. So it's just a spiral.
It is.
So you like you said, I mean, if you're really into it, you're really passionate about it, your ass ain't ever gonna leave it. You're not.
Well, there's not, because a friend of mine, we were in Scotland last year and we had the epitome of the experience he was looking for. And so he just looked at me and said, I think I'm done. I don't know what else can. I said, you're not done. And he said, well, why not? I said, because now you know this will happen. You know this is a possibility. And you're going to be looking for the next time. And
Yep.
that's how I feel when I'm doing it. I was that jail in Ohio I mentioned, I was there doing just a live show and the place went insane. I mean, it was really, I was kind of being less than the kind of person I can be, but where I wanted to film was where it was the most haunted. And so I was doing my show and the place went nuts. But I probably shouldn't have done that. But I wasn't thinking about what it could be, And so I had to apologize because it was bad. And the reaction was bad. They were mad. I had to apologize. And so I had to sleep there that night. Right. I had to sleep in this place that night. And I just told him, I said, I'm sorry I was so rude. Didn't mean to make you that mad. Just thought it would be, a good experience. And I explained why I did it. And they're like, really? I said, yeah, trying to help her make, attention come here for y'all. So, and that's what my motivation was. It wasn't being mean or, whatever. Did I want the experience? I did want an experience, but I was also trying to help get information about this place out. Oh, Paulding Jail. Yes, go there. But because she was trying to save this building to be able to use it as a paranormal research center. And that was the whole motivation behind me trying to do a live show there. And I think spirits do know, as a rule, if you're there to abuse them, take advantage, whatever. And that's what they thought I was doing. And I explained what it was. She had a portal, you know, those Steve Huff portals that you could build. She has one. And so we were talking, and I was like, and this is why, blah, blah, blah. And the voice that had been making most of the commentary said, really? I said, yeah. I said, really? So yes. Yeah, I have a 9-hour drive in the morning. I'm not here for my health, you know. And so it was just like everybody was fine. And yeah, like I said, I had to sleep there that night, take a shower there that night, you know, just lived. And they were just fantastic, you know, and ever since then they've been fantastic. But they will say, no, you're not going to do that.
No.
If I'll say, you know, because I asked if I could do that again, and they were like, no. It's like, good enough. I'll take that no. But it's so cool, right? I mean,
I like to push the
I-
limits.
apparently I do too.
Well, and
But-
I mean, you know, and part of the reason why I got away from it umpteen years ago was because there were so many people, and they're still doing it today. Now I just ignore them. But back then I wasn't good at ignoring stupid people. So
Yeah.
There was just so much of, well, you're not doing it correctly. Okay, what pamphlet did you write? You know, like,
Really?
yeah, oh,
Show me that guidebook, right?
there was just so much of that, and people would go out of their way to out other people or try to get people banned from events and locations.
I've seen that.
And I was like, oh my God, people grow up, right? Like, we're all doing something idiotic, right? That most people would get locked up for, right? And
Yes.
like, everyone thinks we're all crazy. Like, why not work together? Why not? Oh, and that was just unheard of, right? So that's when I was like,
Never
no.
understood that. I've never understood that.
Well, it's because, in my opinion, because I've been doing this for a couple years, and it's like, people are so afraid that someone's going to steal their thunder, right? Like, you know, well, we can't go work with other people because, you know, this is our show. This is our whatever. Well, come on, man, grow up.
Yeah.
And it just, it gets old. It gets old. And what did Jay say?
We've never been thrown under the bus or banned from events.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
goodness.
that's what's funny is, you know, you see all these other people and hey, what's up, Nick?
And you- hey, Nick.
You see all these people that are getting banned from locations or events, and I promise you, I've been 10 times worse in my day, and I've never been banned from a location.
Why are they getting banned from events?
Because people are there are people that will go out of their way to, let's say, hypothetical, contact a location owner and be like, you shouldn't book them for your event, and this is why, you know. And it's just little dumb stuff like that, and it still happens. I mean,
That should
not as-
operate under the what goes around comes around principle.
well, and
I mean, they should be calmed down.
well, back in my day, I've been known to walk outside and have a cigarette with one or two individuals and have a come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
But I'm not that guy no more. But, you know, it just, number one, life is too short, right?
It is too short.
Way too short.
Yes.
And, you know, me being 19 a few times, like, I'm starting to get up there. And
Yeah.
it's like the amount of energy that you have put into some little ball of drama. Imagine what you would have done if you would have put that into something productive.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's where people will never understand. Some do, some don't. Some fade away, some don't. You know, it's just a circle.
Yeah. But you know, it's so cool though when you do find people that bring their positive energy into what we do, and then you get to spend time working with them. And I mean, it just, when you do that, you're doing it now. You know, you're working with people that have a love for the paranormal. You're working with people that have work ethic. You're working with people that have morals. And absolutely, you absolutely have each other's backs and everybody on this network,
Oh, 100%.
because plug it. Dark Realm TV is actually the best place to be. But, you know, really it is, because I've never been supported, you know, like I am here. I'm building my audience back up. You know, it's just absolutely harder than it was the first time.
Yeah.
You know, because people just thought I disappeared.
And
But
that's
I
our thing
love
is
what I do.
we want everyone to feel welcome and to feel have that safe place, you know, that
Yeah.
uh-oh. So someone's got to talk to me about something. Um
That would be Nick.
oh I
Nick
know who you're
Muley,
talking
there's no telling.
about. Right? Yeah, like Jason just said, safe place for everyone, you know,
Yeah, this
because
is.
there is a lot of I mean, I guess you call it a little paranormal bullying and this, that, and the other. Um, why? Why? You
There's
know,
no good reason.
why? Because this team has only been doing it for 4 years versus your 15 or whatever.
Right?
And you wrote a book that you self published, and good for you, you know? But stop trying to think that you're on this pedestal, because you know what? You're not above anybody. Everyone
No.
is on the same level to me.
Well, everyone's doing the best they can.
Yeah. And that's all you
Nobody's in
ask.
here trying to just do halfway stuff. Everybody is doing, I would think that everybody would be doing their best, because you don't want to halfway way through life.
Well,
And well,
I
I
mean, there
mean,
are people.
but realistically, the average person
Yeah.
is trying. And, you know, I've got, I travel a lot to go to locations, because I've got 7 maybe around me. And that's with traveling a couple of hours. And I don't mind doing that. I love going to, you know, all of the locations around me. In fact, my research partner, Lori Dorsey, is in chat. And we had a night at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital that was nuts, nuts. And it's just one of those things that when you get that moment, you remember why you do it. You know, you remember why you're out there in the middle of the night and freezing your, you know, kahunas off and trying to
Oh yeah.
stay awake so you can do, and then something happens and there's no going to sleep, right?
Yes.
You are
Yes.
so right in the middle. What is your biggest moment like that? What is the thing that made you go, holy crap, this is a real thing happening right now?
Um. Oof.
I know you've had several, but which one rocked your world?
Um. Probably the one that. Oh yeah. I mean, so for I've been doing this since what 2000 now, and very skeptical. Like I watch all the TV shows and I'm like, oh come on, you know, whatever. Um.
Yeah.
But I never like I was always like, when do I get to see that holy grail? Like what, you know, and years and years and years, and I'm just getting little audio clips, and I'm like, oh, that's crap, you know, whatever. Um, one, and this was several years ago, was asked to come up to the Brumder Mansion in Milwaukee. I know the owners there, Tom and Julie, are great people, and they were having someone come from out of state. They didn't know who they were. They were putting on a little tiny event and ghost tour, ghost hunt thing. And so Tom had asked me, he's like, "Hey man, I'll give you a room at the bed and breakfast. You want to hang out for the weekend? Just make sure everything's on the up and up." And I'm like, "Yeah, not a problem." And so I brought a couple of my friends. They met me up there, and you know we had a great time. And we were up in one of the rooms, and um, we were all in there, and it's hard to explain the way it was situated, but we were in the dark. Go figure. And one of the main host guy was like, "Hey, something's pushing on my foot," and he was laying on the floor. And so someone popped on their flashlight, and there's who laying on the floor. Well, right at his feet is this female looking down at him, but you couldn't see her face because her hair was like in her face, right?
Right.
No one thought anything of it, right? So whatever, they turned the flashlight back off, and then he said something funny or something, and all the girls in the room laughed. Well, the way the room is situated, it's a small room, but they have a hot tub that was right to my right hand side, and I was by the door, and that's where the females were sitting. They were sitting on the edge of the hot tub, and there were no other females on that side of the room. And when they laughed, I was like, it kind of clicked in my head, like, well, hold on, the girls are over here. And then like in my brain, I'm like trying to like scan everyone in my brain, and I'm like, who the hell was that girl? So I was like, hey, you guys mind if I turn the lights on real quick? And yeah, whatever. So I flipped the light on, and all the girls were sitting to my right on the hot tub. And I'm kind of looking at them, and I'm looking around the room, and there was nobody dressed like that. So
Really?
I have no clue who that female was. And there's no way that you could get from that corner of the room past a window with a street light and no curtain without someone seeing you, or to get right past me, you'd have had to literally almost bump into me to get to the other side. So, and it just like instant like shock, like this shock went through my body. Every hair on my arm stood up, and I was like, you know what, guys, I got to go take a 10-minute break. And I walked outside. Back then I smoked. So I lit up a cigarette, and one of the girls from my group, she came downstairs. She was like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And she was like, "No." She goes, I've been doing this with you for years. I've never seen you act like that. What happened?" And then I told her. And so that was probably my oh my God moment.
Right.
So,
Sounds
and
like
to this
it.
day, I cannot explain it. I have been back to that place since then, and I did sleep in that room just to push the limit, and
Right.
nothing happened. But yeah. So I mean, that's probably one of the main ones that stood out to me.
That's pretty, that actually is very intense. I mean, it doesn't happen, right? So people say. And then when it does,
I mean, I went years doing this, and nothing.
yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, look at the orbs." I'm like, "Oh, shut up." You know, um,
Yes.
I did that for years, and it was like
Yeah.
people are like, "Why are you still doing this? You're not," and I'm like, "I don't know," and I stuck with it, and I had that happen. I mean, that's one of a few like oh crap moments that I've had. So
They're so amazing when you get them.
oh, it messed me up for a few days. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like I questioned everything after that, and I mean just everything that I ever believed. Um, you name it. Like it's because like I said, I grew up very skeptical. Um, just to show how many times I've been 19, I used to watch In Search of with my dad when I was a
Yes.
little kid with Leonard
Leonard
Nimoy.
Nimoy.
Yep.
Yes.
And and I was so intrigued by like the Bigfoot, and I loved it. It scared the living crap out of me, right? And all the ghost
Well,
stories and
yeah.
Loch Ness Monster, because I was born in Scotland. So
Were you?
yes, I was, but I left when I was 6 months old, so I don't remember it. But so
You
and my
should go
dad,
back.
I want to, but like my dad would tell me stories. Him and his buddies when he was in the Navy, they'd go out looking for Loch Ness, and I'm like, it was just so intriguing. And then as I got older, I was like, oh, y'all are full of crap. Like, come on. There's no Bigfoot. There's no ghosts. Like, you guys get a life. And
Boy,
then
has
I
your
had,
tone changed.
and then I had something happen to me. I had something happen to me, and that was it. I was like, okay, you know what? There's something out there, because what I experienced one night was something you'd see on a TV show.
Yeah.
And that was the story. And my mom still tells story of what happened to me when I was a child, and to this day it's still word for word. I mean, like, the story has not changed.
What was
And
it?
so long story.
You knew I was going there.
I'm gonna try to dummy it down. But so when I was a little kid, just I'm half Italian and I'm half Greek, right?
You're born
Greek
in
Ortho.
Scotland.
Yep, yeah. And my little brother was born in Japan, so we're just all over. But
You are.
I don't remember how old I was. I want to say maybe 5, 6 years old, maybe somewhere
Okay.
around there. And my great grandfather had passed away, and we were trying to think where like my dad's family lives in Cleveland, Ohio area. And I don't remember where we were living at the time, but we came back for some family function that it had to do with it. But for a month, it was like a month and a half, my mom would tell me, because like I said, I don't remember any of this.
Right.
But a month prior, I would wake my mom up in the middle of the night because uh don't ask about that family. Yeah, that's another long story. But I'd wake her up in the middle of the night because there was a man outside my window flying around. And
Really?
this went on. And this went on, and my mom would be like, "Oh Jesus, go back to bed. You're having a nightmare, whatever." And like I said, this went on, and then we went to West Virginia to visit my mom's family out there, and it happened out there. Same thing. This man was outside my window, and then we went back. I want to say we were living in Ohio when this happened, but
Okay.
and we lived on the second floor. We were in an apartment, and but this man was flying outside my window, and one night I woke my mom up again and said I was crying, and because this man had to leave. And this man, from what I told my mom, was this man told me that he has to leave now, that he's not going to see me anymore, and just the yada yada stuff, right? And then he just kind of floated away, ghost of Christmas
Whoa.
past type of thing, right? So I was all freaking out. My mom's like, "Oh boy, more dreams. Go back to bed." So we went to this family function at my aunt's house, and we were staying there for the weekend or whatever we were there for. And we were up in my aunt's room, and my aunt keeps pictures, or kept pictures. She's no longer with us, and that's all I'll say. But she kept pictures on her dresser, like down, and then had a piece of glass over top of them, right? So she just had all the pictures there. So my mom was up there getting me ready for bed one night, and I pointed. I was like, "Hey, that's a man that was outside my window." And my mom's like, "Yeah, whatever." I'm like, "No, really, that's him right there." And that was a picture of my great grandfather that had passed away like a month and a half, 2 months prior. And
Wow.
my mom left my ass upstairs. She flew downstairs to tell the rest
Oh
of the
my
family.
goodness.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's probably why I'm scarred. But um, but yeah, like
Probably of more than that, but
and yeah,
okay.
so that hearing that story growing up, right? And I still stayed skeptical,
That's just wild.
and
I mean,
I mean, I dismissed
with
everything.
proof.
I dismissed everything. I was an ass, right? Um, but like hearing this story all the time, and nothing ever changing with the story over the 100 years,
Hmm.
and so I was like, huh. And then one time, I had just gotten back from the military, and I was working a security job, third shift, and I was in a building in Illinois that used to be an old TB clinic. I didn't know this until afterwards,
Oh, okay.
but now it's just it's the county uh, medical clinic health service building, right? So you had
Hmm.
3 floors. You had a basement, which was just hallways, right? And then the ground floor was like doctors' offices, and then up top on the third or on the I guess second floor technically was a rehab center that you cannot. I like, and I work security. I couldn't even get in there, right? I mean, it was
Right.
literally locked up. And I want to say it was like maybe my second night there at that site, and I'm doing my rounds down in the basement, and I'm hearing like this ticking noise, right? In the hallways, kind of, it'd be like a long corridor and then like a crash door, like with the bars, and then it'd be another long corridor, another set of doors. So I was down there walking around, and um, I heard what sounded uh, like wheels, like squeaky wheels being pushed down the hallway, and I was like, okay, this is weird. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, and
Stretcher?
I mean, like something like that you would think, right? And I heard the doors behind me, like someone pushed like a hospital bed into the doors to open them up. And I flipped around, no doors opened. It was
Hmm.
just the sound of it. And then going right past me down this long hallway was that the squeaky wheel sound, and then the crash at the other end of the hallway. But the doors never opened.
Right.
And I was like, nope. So I went back up to the I went back up to the ground floor to the main lobby, and I get to the top of the stairs, and there's this old man standing in the hallway. And I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do paperwork. Like,
Yeah.
how did someone get in the building, right? So I was like, hey, something I can help you with? And this man turned around, looked at me, and said, no, Joe, I'm just glad to see you got your life back together. And he opened up the door and walked down the sidewalk and was gone.
Get out.
Mm-mm, sure as shit. I stood there for about 5 minutes, not being able to move. And once the blood started flowing again, I went into the security office. I called my supervisor, woke her up, and told her, tomorrow you either put me at a new spot or I'm done. And I never went back.
Oh, bummer.
And I will tell you, because I know Nick's in the Illinois area. Um,
Yes.
I will tell you, hey Nick, that was in Lake County, right on Belvedere. So yep.
Wow.
And then I found out later that used to be a TB clinic way back in the day, and that corridor, those hallways down in the basement, that
Hmm.
led to the morgue.
They're usually in the
Yep,
basement.
yep. So I've never been back since. I don't know if I would go there. I mean, I probably would because I'm dumb, but uh,
It's not dumb. I
but
mean,
yeah, and
because
and
whatever
it's
was
funny
there
because
knew you.
yeah, and what was freaky about it is I told my dad, right? And my dad's like, huh, that's very interesting. And I'm like, okay, the hell? Why? Then he told me in this same time frame period that there was like this little bar right around the corner from our house. He used to go in there. My dad wasn't a drinker, so he'd go in there after work. He'd get off at the Navy base there, and then he'd stop in, have a Diet Pepsi, right? Sit there and talk with all the rest of the old people. And he said he came in one day and they had like a horseshoe shaped bar. My dad came in, sat at his regular spot, ordered his Diet Pepsi. And then you could smoke in bars,
Yeah.
And there was this man sitting across from my dad. And my dad said, "Oh, he resembled your grandfather." Like just his father looked like a very young Charles Bronson. Like that's just what he looked like. And he was like, "Yeah, it's kind of wow, that's kind of weird, And
Yeah.
this man was just sitting there smiling at my dad. And my dad's like, "Okay, whatever." And got his drink and then lit a cigarette. And as soon as he lit the cigarette, the man sitting across from him kind of shook his head like he was disgusted, got up and walked out. So my dad was like, "Okay, yeah, that's not normal." So he asked the bartender, "Hey, who was that guy?" He's like, "Don't know. He came in about 10 minutes before you did. I've never seen him before." So that's what kind of got me like, okay, you know what? Now I'm going to kind of dive into this a little bit. And then I just started kind of doing my own little research. And then there was a TV show that was on one time. Me and my wife were watching it. I'm like, "Look at these idiots, like, and she's like, "Well, they're not idiots. They're on TV. Look at them, And I'm like, "But really, like, this is a thing? Like people running around ghost hunting?" I'm like, "Man, I want to do
Figure.
that shit. I want to do that." And my
Yeah.
wife's like, "Oh, you're nuts." And I'm like, "No, how cool would that be, right?" I'm like, if a couple plumbers can do it, why can't I, right?
Right.
And so yeah, I looked for a local group
Hmm.
and got involved, and yeah, the rest is history.
That is so fun
Yeah,
because I had that same talk with my husband one night. I was like, there has to be somebody else doing this,
right.
but it was the same thing because I'd had experiences my whole life. And I'm like, wouldn't this be fun if I could find somebody to do that with?
Yeah.
And I tried a couple of groups, and one of them was pretty cool. One of them was more like the theater major. And so I just thought that I would just start going to places and checking them out because I started going to events, and then I started meeting people, and then I started having people that really did it to do it with. And, Jenny Davis, I've investigated with at Old South Pittsburgh, and I would investigate with her anywhere. She is a good investigator.
Yeah.
And, there's people that, you know, I've been invited to go. I got to go to the Winchester House. I mean,
That's
you
cool.
know, I mean, that was cool. And, there's every so often somebody will just, "Hey, why don't you come and do this?" Or I'll find some place and I'm like, "Hey, why don't you come and do that?"
Well, yeah, kind of
And
like Jay and Jason. They're like, "Hey, I know you're not in the paranormal field no more, but you should come to Toledo."
yeah,
And now look at you
there
guys
you
do.
go. They cranked it back up.
But I mean, that's what it. I mean, think about it, right?
But it's so great,
When in my life, like, let's say I never did this, right?
right?
Never took that step towards the paranormal. Didn't care, whatever. Just kept watching reruns of In Search of. Would I have ever gone to Gettysburg? Would I have ever gone to Salem? What you know what I mean? Like, when would the average person go do that? And I can say,
That's
I'm
true.
hell, I've been to Gettysburg 6 times. Um, got to investigate up in Salem. Like that was cool as hell.
Ooh, what was it
Not
like?
the cops are not cool.
Really?
No, they're douchey.
What
They don't have a sense
do
of
they
humor.
mean? Oh,
They don't
well,
have a sense of
there's a
humor.
lot of cops that don't have senses of humor, but they get
Yeah.
put in awkward positions so much you kind of have to understand that
Well, and I
sometimes.
get it now. I didn't then. I was a little upset then, but yeah, like we were just trying. Actually, Blaine was with me. Blaine Rohan was with me, and
Really?
yeah.
Blaine can BS his way out of just about anything.
Well, I mean, we didn't get in trouble, but so
Well,
basically,
he is, but he is a great one at diffusing a situation.
Well, yeah.
He and I were in the same group doing that here for a long time, and I like Blaine. So
Yeah.
usually he's very good at diffusing things.
Well, it wasn't even diffusing it. It was just I mean, okay, maybe I was out of line, maybe.
Oh well, there's that.
Well, like so on the side of the cop cars is the Bewitched logo.
Really?
Yes.
I did
Yep.
not know that.
Yes. And so I
Well,
was
then
like,
that can't be
"Hey."
bent if you're looking for a witch.
Well, yeah. So I was like, "Hey, Mr. Officer, this is where we're here. This is what we do. You know, we do a lot of online stuff and all that. Hey, can we do a little video of like you guys like pretending to arrest me and like slam me down on the car and stuff?" And this cop turned around, looked at me, and was like, "So you think our job is a joke?"
Oh,
And I was like, "No." Like, because I mean, I used to be in law enforcement. Like, come on,
yeah.
man. But I guess he just and I get it, tourist town. He probably gets that all the time, you know. So, all right, bad timing. But
Maybe lead into that with something before it.
yes,
You know, have a little
well,
conversation before you go there.
yeah.
That might have been the ticket,
Well,
but
you know, I've had these newfound empathy classes lately, so like I'm learning. But
oh goodness,
yeah,
that's almost
but I
scary.
mean, but honestly, if I'd have never got into the paranormal field, I would have never gone to those places. Never.
That's right. I mean, I would never
So
have gone to the places I've gone.
like I would
Yeah.
have I would have looked at all these conventions and been like, wow, look at these people. They're special, you know. But now that I've done it, I love conventions. I love them.
I love conventions.
They're just so much fun. We have I mean, I don't think I've ever been to one that I didn't have fun at. Because you
Or
know
made new
us.
friends.
Well, exactly. You're gonna
Yeah.
meet people, like-minded
Yes.
people. So it's to me it's just a win-win.
Well, I've been to Gettysburg because I love the battlefield bash.
Yeah.
And I like supporting wounded warriors and I like supporting sick kids. And that one does both. You know, plus you get to investigate and you get to hang out with people that love to investigate who have been places you haven't been. So you can share notes and see if there's some place that you just have to go.
Yeah.
But the very first time I went, one of the local teams just kind of took me wherever they went. And that was so nice and so really cool. And that's what, to me, that's what the paranormal has been, is people that do it love it. If they know a place, then they're going to want to share it as a rule, unless they're weird and, you know, they have to keep everything hidden to themselves. But there's most people aren't like that. And so, you know, you get to experience things that I have stuff here, but it's not like that. And that's just the coolest thing. And, you know, and these people have been my friends now for what, 10 years?
Yeah.
And anytime that I get a chance to go up there, we always go and do stuff, you know.
Yeah,
And
I have not been out there
like,
since the phenomenology days.
oh my gosh, I did not
Yeah.
get to go to phenomenology. I always wanted to. Was it perfect?
Oh my god. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was I'm sure there's still video and pictures out there.
I'm pretty sure there are.
Oh
But,
yeah.
you know, well, you know, going to distant events is how I got to meet Jay and Teresa and
I'm so sorry.
Denise. I know, right? I love them. But, and Denise and Ron Pridemore and, you know, Robin Terry and
Yeah.
all these people, just because I'm willing to travel to go investigate. And they were there because, you know, they loved up there too. Ashmore Estates was, I was friends with Robin Terry. I'd never been to Ashmore. And so he was like, well, why don't you come up here? Okay. He came to Birmingham to go to Sloss, and somebody else had invited him, so I didn't go. But I, I know all of the cool people, the really, really people that I'm so proud to call my friends. But the I'm plugging this in because it just made a weird noise. But always better to do that. But you know, it's just the coolest thing because oh my gosh, when he came to Birmingham, we went and had breakfast together, even because he's going to do something at a location and with other people. So I wasn't going to. I was just like, well, I just want to break bread with you, man. Let's
Right?
So we had breakfast, and that to me is what the paranormal community should be. You have something cool you want to share, you tell people. You have something cool happen, you tell people, so that maybe they can reenact that, and then there that is, right? Because validation is nice. I think validation is nice. And if I had something rocking, wouldn't you want to share that so somebody else could do that too?
Oh, 100%.
I think it's excellent.
Not everyone sees it that way, though.
Well,
But
then they just miss out. They
like
miss out on a good time.
So some of the best times I've had has been like you said, sitting down at breakfast.
Yeah.
I did an event. Matter of fact, it was when I met Scott Tepperman for the first time, and
Yeah.
we did an event here in Wisconsin, up north, and that first night, here I am. We're sitting there drinking beer out of pitchers, right? Forget the glasses, and doing karaoke, and then the
I
next
would have
morning,
paid to see that.
oh, and then the next morning, my wife and I are sitting at breakfast, and Joe Chin comes in. He's like, "Hey, can I sit with you guys?" I'm like, sure. And we just had just a hell of a conversation. And like, again, that was a long time ago. And I still talk to a lot of people. Like, and it's
Yeah,
cool.
it is
Um,
cool.
so I love it. I love the people for the most part. Um, there's a few that I'm okay with that we don't talk. Jason. Joe does a great Frank Sinatra. Yeah, okay.
Joe does do a great Frank Sinatra. Joe Chin ran out of and jumped a. No, he did not jump. He and I were in by the wheels at Sloss at an event, and he was. We're just sitting there, and his radio starts going up, and they're like, "We have a shadow figure outside here," and yeah, and then this idiot. Sloss Furnace is not in the best location, right?
Yeah.
It's just really not. And so this guy, thinking that he's going to catch somebody faking us out, whatever, and he goes jumping over the fence out of Sloss. And Joe's radio is like, we got a guy. It's like, are we going to go look at that? And he's like, yeah, come on. So we go in time to see the man jump over the fence. I'm the only local there, and I'm going, oh my God, that man's going to die because the chances were good. And it was just like, but that was his reaction to that. That was very funny and he is an amazing person. I think he's very nice. I think there's not very many people that do this that aren't nice. I mean, you'll come across the random person that's kind of a
Yeah.
dipstick, but as a rule, the paranormal community is very well, as long as they're doing it because they love it, it's a really great community.
Yeah.
And sometimes people start to lose that a little bit or they forget about it, maybe, don't you find? And they kind of start getting the different attitude, but usually they come back around. I mean, but sometimes they forget why they love
You
it.
know what? I've seen people literally just on like self-destruct
Yeah.
because they got too Now they're messing with me in the
Yeah,
chat.
they are.
But it's like you said, like you see a lot come and go. You do see some people that stick around, some people that make a turnaround and come back to reality a little bit more.
Yeah.
They're teasing me again. Why?
Yeah.
Guys, come on.
They love you.
I know.
So. Yeah. Have you
Too
ever?
much fun.
Have you ever
Ran? Oh,
ran
yes.
besides from the men that knew you?
I have exited a building pretty quickly before.
Where were you?
Which time? Um,
Well,
well,
now you're going to have to tell me all of them.
wow, yeah. Um, there was one that we did. Thank God that this happened. That I found this out the next morning when we were all like packing up to leave. But we did a investigation for the Coast Guard, um, several years ago, up in it was just north of Milwaukee, and we got to stay in the big house, there and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
we had set up cameras, wherever. And the first camera they set up was up in our room, my wife and I, the room that we were staying in. And there was like this story that we never could find any uh, credential, like anything credible about this story. But supposedly a little girl fell off the lighthouse and died. Um, but they were having weird stuff happen, whatever. So we went to this lighthouse, and we were only there one night. We turned around, went back home the next day. Well, they set up the first camera up in our room, and hit record on the old DVR system, and had that going, and whatever. Went through the night, nothing, absolutely nothing happened. Like, it was so boring. It was horrible. So next day, we're getting stuff packed up and whatever. And our audio guy, he is just, I mean, he's sitting there with headphones, he's listening to stuff, and he just flips the headphones off. And I'm like, bro, that was kind of dramatic. What are you doing? And he was
Seriously.
like, man, what I just heard. And I'm like, ooh, let me hear. And he's like, man, you don't want to hear this. And I'm like, well, you can't tell me that. And then tell me I can't.
Gonna have to share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you don't like kids. Like, kids creep you out. Like, and that's my thing. Like, I'll go anywhere, but like just stuff with kids, that to me is just creepy, right? And I'm like, oh, whatever, man, just let me listen. And it was the camera in our room, right? And you can hear us all downstairs setting up the rest of the stuff because all our
So y'all
voices
weren't
are
up
muffled.
there.
No one was upstairs. And I'm just sitting there listening and listening and listening. And then all of a sudden you hear this little girl go, "Mommy," clear as day, right next to the camera. And I told everyone, I said, well, I'll meet you in the car. And I did. I left the building.
Well, wow.
So, yeah.
Why did they bother you?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know what it is. To me, it is just creepy. Like, it's nothing like, I'm not gonna say nothing evil or anything like that. It's just like, that is the one thing that just creeps me out. That
Well,
actually scares me.
well, probably because we don't feel like they should still be there.
I
I
don't know
mean,
what it is. Like, I've ugh.
your friends are
Oh, they're
harsh.
horrible, aren't they? I don't. That's why they don't like me. Like, they put me in the hull of a ship once with spiders.
Well, that's what
Um,
they said.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's because Jay and all his biscuits and gravy. I was the only one that would be able to fit in
Well,
this
Teresa
hole that
does
they
cook
put me in.
well.
Yeah,
So,
But
I mean, she is pretty amazing.
so they're and they're wait till Paragold with the tarantula. Yeah, can't wait.
Oh my, tarantulas.
Ah,
My thing, okay, my thing is snakes. I could do the Indiana Jones scene and mean it from my heart, right?
ah.
But the when I was investigating at what is that? It's a little bar outside of Las Vegas. Ugh, it'll come to me. But anyway, this bar is in a mining town, right? And it's right outside of Vegas. And so I'm sitting there and I'm there to do a group ghost hunt because I just wanted to be able to investigate there. That's all I wanted. And it's where Clark Gable sat when he was waiting on them to bring his wife's body off. Not Clark Gable. Might have been Clark Gable. Anyway, he's sitting there and he's like sitting in the bar waiting for his wife was killed in a plane crash coming back from a USO kind of thing. But anyway, so it has his drumbeat fingerprints in the bar where he's just sat there smoking and drinking, waiting on her body to be brought back. And I actually got activity in there, and I was just kind of like, whoa. But part of the ghost hunt included going outside and wandering around, but you had to be careful because there's open mines. And I'm just like, I'll go back in the bar. Yeah, I'll go back in the bar. And then there's tarantulas and they jump.
Nope.
And I'm like,
what?
oh, yes, tarantulas jump. And I was just like, I'm done. I'm so done. But somebody's going to have to help me get out of this thicket part and get back so that I don't fall down a mine shaft or have a tarantula jump on me because I'm just panicked here, you know. But oh my goodness, but it was haunted. It was very haunted. But it was just like, oh, I'm so ready to go. I'm so ready to go.
I'm all
And
ears
fortunately,
now.
right? I
I
mean,
did not know they jump.
and they're
Jay,
hairy.
well, that
They're
I knew, but Jay
and
should have let me know that they jump because in August we're going to be down in Paragold for the whole
where
Scared
is that?
City, Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
No, Jay,
Really?
I
I
did
was
not
just in
know.
Arkansas.
And we're doing this fundraiser, and Jason is absolutely terrified of snakes, and I am the same way with spiders. So we're doing this fundraiser that if we can raise $500 for Jason, right, and it's all going to go to charity, but we can
Right?
raise $500 for Jason. Jason has to sit with a snake on him. Yeah.
Oh, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
And we're gonna leave
Okay.
the other half of that out because if they raise 500 on my side, I have to let them put a tarantula on me. Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is they can't see real well. So
Oh,
tarantulas
great! So
can't
I'm
see
just gonna
real.
look like a blurry meal.
No, they don't eat people. That was that horror movie that
They
those
bite
be
though.
mm,
Come on now. They have fangs for a reason.
well to
They're
eat the flies.
they're not for show.
You're bigger than a fly. Hey
Barely.
Melinda. But that's just horrifying. I couldn't do either one of those.
Oh, the snake
I,
wouldn't bother me.
the snake would I would pass out.
No,
I
snake.
would just
They better have EMS on standby with the tarantula, because
I would
I
need it for
don't
both.
I don't do well with spiders at all. I am and I mean deathly afraid of spiders.
Well, the good thing about the tarantula is it can't sneak up on you because it's big. So, you know, and they don't, their mouths are weird. So you won't have to worry about that. Are they going to put it like on your body or on your clothes?
Well, at first they said they're gonna let it crawl on my face, and I'm like, that's not happening.
No,
No. um,
That's
But
like the worst nightmare.
like I'm like, okay, you can put it on my arm. Um, you know, you want to put it on my stomach, that's fine. But but when I say get it, it's time to get it off me. Because
Is
if it
get
starts
it or lose it. I
yes,
mean,
because if it starts going
that's
towards
it.
my face, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So other than probably cry, but
Jay
um
Lynch said it's kind of like a bee sting.
yeah, yeah,
You'll be
no.
okay.
Mm-mm.
But they're not poisonous.
Oh, that's good.
So
I still no.
there's that.
No,
Just
but
don't
it'll
see
be
it
fun.
happen.
It'll be fun, and then
It's
I
just
guess
like, oh my gosh.
we're gonna be there. We're gonna be eating some fire wings or something that Jada
Oh,
Miner's gonna make for us. Um, yeah,
is
just
that
us
part of
being
your
us.
challenge too?
Well, that we're just
Or do
gonna
you
do
just
that.
like fire wings?
We're just gonna do that. So it's gonna be a great time. Um,
It's going to be something.
oh, there'll
I
be plenty
just,
of there'll be plenty of videos. There always
well,
is
I'm
when we're
looking forward to
together.
seeing that because I could probably stand the tarantula.
Ooh,
I really could. I mean, I really could. But I just don't think I could do, well, I couldn't do a small spider, but the tarantula, you don't lose it. So,
mm, no,
there's that.
mm,
But, but it's better than the snake.
no, no.
You
I'll
don't,
take the
you don't
snake
mind
any day.
snakes?
No.
Really?
Now, again, don't get it near my face. Like I'm not gonna be one of them people that are gonna sit there and kiss it. But I would hold
No.
a snake. I would hold a snake. I had back in high school, someone brought one of them little python things in,
Hmm.
and I was like, all right, I'll hold it, and I had it around my arm, and I was just fine. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And then I don't know what I did or what the snake was thinking, but had its head, like hanging low and whatever, and I was just had my arm out and whatever, and then all of a sudden this thing just kind of real quickly just veered its head up. It was staring me in the face, and I'm like, nope, get it, time
I
to
would
get
have
it.
slung that thing so
Well, it
far.
was wrapped around my arm. It wasn't going anywhere. But
Oh
I
my
was like,
God. I
okay,
would have just,
someone please grab it, because
I would have just
I,
gone down. That would have
I,
been the
I
end.
bite back. I promise.
My dad, I think one of the reasons I'm like that about snakes, my dad used to be a Green Beret and they would go and bivouac. And they came home one day and they built a barbecue spit thing.
Oh yeah.
And they had brought home what we thought was just a snapping turtle that they were playing with just to play with it. It bit the toe off one of their boots.
Oh,
Seriously. Army boots in the 60s. And then they were cooking snakes. And my
I
mother,
heard they're very good.
well, we didn't find out because my mother told them that he would be single if he tried to feed me that snake. But yeah, I mean, military people can be silly sometimes, but were these were the guys that told me the first UFO I saw was a helicopter, which was silly because I just watched them jump out of them and I knew that they made noise. So, I'm like, that's not a helicopter. But thanks. Thanks for playing.
Right?
But it's just so bizarre the things that some people think are just fine, and some people think, oh my God, I'm gonna die. you know. And Jay said in Inhumane Championship Wrestling will be having oh,
Yeah. Haya
yeah,
Mania 3. Yep.
that's fun.
Yes. And you never know what Dark Realm's part in that will be. So you
Well,
just
you
never
know
know.
what? I just think that's that is one of my favorite things about Dark Realm because you don't ever know. I mean, I'm always yeah. You find shows that like I find shows that I didn't know were on. I love getting a Roku and watching because that's just I'll see everything.
No.
And if I'm sitting at home, I'm not usually on my computer after, you know, a certain point. But there's everything here. I mean, there's really
Yeah,
everything
we
here.
have a little bit of everything on there, and that's what we're trying to grow from there. You know, the one thing that we don't get a lot about, but I would love to see more would be more of the UFO shows.
Well, that's my passion.
Like
I
I think it
mean,
is so interesting.
well,
So,
it is. What part fascinates you about that?
well, again, growing up skeptical, I was like, okay, whatever. But then, as I got older, you get to think, how large, you look at planets and this and that, and like, how naive are we to think that we are the
Yes.
only quote
Yes.
intelligent life, right? Because
And we're
I
not all
work,
that intelligent
I was gonna say
sometimes.
I work with some every day, but um, so like then you start to get that. Well, what if, um, I don't think I could be like an investigator and go sit out in the desert just looking at the sky. Like I I say that would be boring, but yet we sit there and we look at little gadgets with lights, right? Um,
Yes, we do.
but I would do it. Same thing with like Bigfoot. Now, Bigfoot's
Bigfoot
I'm
makes me a little bit cautious.
I'm not a big believer in that. Like, I mean,
Why
I
not?
guess I don't know. And maybe just because I haven't been around it enough, I
Hmm.
haven't I've seen all the castings that people make and whatever, right? Um, but I've never been out on one, which I do want to go. And yeah, I'm not a big
Yeah.
outdoorsman, so putting the city boy in the woods, that right there's a video alone. But
Oh, yeah. I get that.
but I want to do it. Like I want to say at least I've done it, you know, um, and try to stay open minded about it. They try to get me out in the woods now.
I am not a big woods person either, but I do think that I mean, I used to get sent to camp for a week or two every summer, and I've I've seen things that I that probably shouldn't have been there. I don't know that they were Bigfoot, but I do know that I've seen other things, and I watch a lot of that kind of video because I'm trying to see I'm trying to see if I can actively come across somebody who is doing real work that's in my area.
Yeah.
I mean, I've talked to people, I have Bigfoot people on pretty often. I love it. But in fact, one of my friends has become very involved in working with the people that are doing the kettles. So, um, and that's kind of weird to me because that's not where she lives. So it's just fun.
Yeah.
But and we know each other from Parrot Head stuff. So that's a whole
Like
big change
I
of
would
genre right
I would
there.
love to go and do it. Like I said, I'm beyond that so skeptical you're an ass stage
Oh,
of
I
my
know,
life,
right?
so I'm more open. Like I'm willing to talk to more people than I did 15 years ago. Because I used to dismiss a lot of people. And
Did you really?
oh yeah, all the time, all the time.
That surprises me about you.
Don't don't. I mean, like I wasn't completely a jerk about it, but
Right?
I I I loved a good argument. Loved it.
Yeah,
And
they're kind of
um
fun.
and I always came off little gruff about it. And then I uh, I had a guy come up to me one time at a convention several years ago, and we were watching him. As a matter of fact, I was with Jenny Davis that that day, and I watched this guy. He had his little envelope, and he was pulling out these photos, and he was just making his rounds through all the tables, showing everybody, right? And I'm like, oh boy, here we go, right? Because back then you got a lot of, well, what do you think about this photo? What do you think about this photo? And back then I was honest as hell. Like I was like, no, no way. I could recreate this. Try again.
Yeah.
And this man making his rounds, and Jenny's laughing. She's like, "Oh, he's gonna come talk to you," and I'm like, "Oh, he better not. I'm gonna hurt his feelings." And sure as shit, now he's standing in front of me, and he's like, "Hey, do you have a minute?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "Well, I got some photos." And I'm like, "Of course you do." Right? And I was a jerk. I was like, "Of course you do," And I'm like, "Let's see them." And he shows me these little orb photos. And I'm like, "Huh." I'm like, "So you really believe these are orbs?" And he goes, "Well," he goes, "I believe that's my wife." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" And he
Yeah.
goes, "I believe that's my wife." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I'm like, "Why?" Like, there's not a smiley face, like, and he goes, "Well, she passed away a month and a half ago." And I was like, "Oh." And he goes, what did he tell me? He said something, and he goes, every morning, because he had some kind of camera DVR system set up in his house. To me, that's a red flag right there. Like,
Mm.
but whatever. And he's like, every morning, I watch the videos of, or, rewatch from me from throughout the day, and I'm always seeing this orb around me. And I was like,
Right.
okay. And and he starts crying. And I'm like, ah, Jesus, don't
Oh
do
man.
that. Like, come on, man. And I'm trying to be an asshole. Like I'm trying to be, and I can't anymore, right?
You
And
just took the ammunition.
yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and he was like, well, he goes, what do you think? And I'm like, man, I don't know. And he goes, well, that's what I wake up every morning. Like that's what drives me to get up
Yeah.
every morning is to go and watch these videos. And I was like, ouch.
Yeah.
And I did something I've never done before. And I told the guy, I said, well, I said, I'm not an expert. I'm not a professional. Like I'm not a TV star. I said, if that's what gets you going every day and you truly believe that this is your wife still wanting to be around you, I said, man, who am I to take that away from you?
Yeah. And
And
that's
like,
what they
you
just
could have heard a
said.
pin drop. You could have heard a pin drop
Jason.
in the room because everyone knew me and they were like, oh, this is going to go bad. Like, Joe's going to, like, really insult this guy. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I don't know what happened. I don't know why, what flipped a switch in me. But since that day, I've, I've really, toned it down.
Well, you would kind of have to. I mean, because that's what you can't prove it's not her,
Yeah.
you know. And Joe's heart grew. So that day. Oh
And
my
it
gosh.
did. It did.
Yeah.
I mean, people teased me, like friends of mine teased me about that for years afterwards. Like
That's okay.
I just I could not do that to that man. And now that
Well,
I guess I'm more experienced in the field, like
yeah.
Jay or Jason said, who are we to tell them that that's not? Because we don't know, right? But if that's what makes this man wake up every morning and fulfill his life, right?
Be able to face this day.
Is that belief that man, who the hell are we or any of us? Who are we to be able to take that away from somebody?
I agree with that.
So so yeah, so my heart grew a little bit that day.
It's not a bad thing.
No, no,
You know, I have struggled with orbs because I do live in the South and we have lightning bugs all the time. you cannot, I mean, unless you see a solid orb that's going to continue to travel and, you know, whatever, then you cannot even consider when you're outside that that's an orb. And Melinda said you were hit with a high dose of empathy that changes you.
There's that yucky word again.
I know,
Ugh.
right? But well, that's all right because I get told I'm an empath all the time. I'm like, I'm not that nice. You know, I am, but and I am one. But you know, it's just kind of like people throw that word around a lot.
Yeah.
But because most people are empathetic and they do read and feel people. We just because that's why we react as a society a lot. But you know, when you start trying to describe and define that, it makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So there you go, being an empath and everything.
That's it. I'm writing a book.
There
I'm
you
gonna write
go.
a book. I'm gonna no.
You're
Gonna
gonna
be
get a
booked at
show
all the
just based on that.
conventions. Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, I get really tickled sometimes because I think that being an empath is probably the most natural skill set that there is because if you read energy really well, then you read feelings also. And I don't know. I think that sometimes I wish that that word were less used because it's a pretty strong skill set, but it's
Yeah.
not something that's very rare, I don't think.
It
Psychic, I do think
it's
that's a
not a
pretty defined skill set.
I don't think it's as common as people want to believe it is.
You don't think so?
No. No, not at all. I do believe there are people that do have somewhat of a gift, right? But and please nobody take this the wrong way. I'm not trying to offend anyone for the first time in my life ever. Um like I think a lot of people throw that around trying to gain attention.
Hmm.
Um it's almost like they got to put that on their paranormal resume, right? And I think that's where it starts to lose its traction, you know.
Yeah.
Because I've and I'm not going to say any names, but been doing this what 26 years now, and there are people, and I've known people in this field for 20 plus years. They weren't like that up until 3 years ago. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they were right there in the same boat with me. Like, oh, look at this one, you know.
Hmm.
And then you start to see these people, and I'm saying certain ones. I'm not saying everybody,
Right.
so please not attack me. But you see that their steam is starting to fade away, right? So now all of a sudden they've gotten with
Yes.
some TV psychic or whatever, and now they're being trained like some Padawan, right? And there someday they'll grow up to be a big Jedi also. And I'm starting to see that pattern. And and it's like, man, 10 years ago you no. Like
Yeah.
and to me I don't in my opinion, I think everyone has some sort of intuition, right?
Yes.
Whether it be like, I can read people very well, right?
Mhm.
Like if I'm sitting there having a conversation with someone, I don't chalk it up to any kind of spiritual, metaphysical, anything like that. I was a city kid, kind of
Yes.
grew up a little
Yep.
rough, so I can read people. I can tell if someone's trying to bullshit me. I can tell,
Well,
you
in
know,
law enforcement,
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I don't think that has anything to do with, any kind of psychic abilities or anything like that. Um, but I have met some people that have truly basically made me speechless. And so it's all I'm going to say is there's some stuff out there that I can't explain. A
Yeah.
lot of it I can't explain, and y'all need to stop
Yeah.
that and stop putting that crap on your tables and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
but again, who am I to sit there and try to go after these people and try to make a point about it? I don't care. I don't care.
Well, everybody does them,
Yeah, exactly.
and I would not put that on a business card because sometimes it's really uncomfortable. But I don't understand because I also had some times in my life that I had to depend on how I could read people, right?
No.
And so I do agree that that can be because it is a survival thing and you have to be able to do it in order to be okay. And I think probably that's where I learned how to read people so well.
Yeah.
And but I can't watch movies that have things that are going to I can't watch movies where animals get hurt. I can't watch movies where people get hurt. I mean, I can't do horror.
Well, there
I
goes all
just
my
I
movie
just
selections.
well, I just can't do it if it's I mean, and I'm sure because I've tried to, right? And I can't watch people being injured. It kills me. And one of my one of my best friends is a horror actor. He's been in he's a stuntman, he's a stunt coordinator, he's, been, he was the villain in a movie, he's been backup for, others. And I've never, I watched, he was in Naked Gun 2.5, I think. I saw him in that. That's the only movie I've ever seen him in because I can't, I mean, it hurts me. I can't do it. And that's just, I did see a Friday the 13th movie, one of the thousands there are. And my sister was like, oh, that's what she wanted for her birthday. I'm like, I'm not taking you to that. She said, I know where all the murders are. I'll tell you before they happen. And I'm like, how do you know if you haven't seen it? She's like, I just know.
Yeah.
She knew all but one. And I was so distressed. I was just like, oh my God. So, yeah. And it's just, I'm a great big wuss, great big
Oh, see,
softy, whatever you want to call it.
I love horror movies. I love
I
anything
like
except
suspense.
I
I
love
like
anything
suspense.
except comedy.
Really?
I cannot.
That's interesting.
And musicals. I don't do musicals. But um no, I can't. Jay teases me all the time because I've never seen Blazing Saddles.
Never.
Never.
Even I've seen Blazing
Yeah,
Saddles.
never. Never. I don't I like stand-up comedy, right?
I like stand up. Yeah.
But I don't I like you were talking about Naked Gun 2 and I could never sit and
Mhm.
watch that. Never.
Well, that's because they were just kind of slapstick,
Yeah,
too.
like I'm not yeah. Jay, yes, I'm just not a and for as much as I like to be silly and goofy and just have fun, I love entertaining other people, but
Right?
I cannot
Not
sit
your
and
color
watch.
Kool-Aid.
No, Will Ferrell.
No.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
No.
that's not really comedy.
No. No. Like I said, I could never now when I was a kid I liked it, which is really weird because I mean I grew
That
up watching
is.
Saturday Night Live and stuff like that.
Well, this one
You know,
stuff was really funny
but I mean I was 10 years old the
because they
first
were
time
high. So
yeah. Yeah, I think I was like 10, 9 or 10 the first time I ever watched Scarface. Loved it.
I like that movie.
Yeah. But I remember
Yeah.
because, back, the old VCR tapes and stuff, um, my parents would make me go to bed, but I'd listen and I could almost word for word the whole damn movie and I had never seen it. Right. So I remember, like I said, I was like 10 and I had a friend spend the night and I forgot how I talked my mom into it, but they let us watch Scarface.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like. I
Yeah.
like mafia movies. Go figure.
I
Um,
like mafia movies.
but yeah, comedy. I just can't. I just can't get into that
Well,
in
I think,
musicals.
yeah, well, my daughter was a theater major at UAB and moved to New York to do theater. And that didn't work out for her very well, but she loved it.
There's
And
one musical that I will watch over and over again.
really,
And of course, Jay and Jason are going to say something smart ass about it, but it's Jersey Boys.
mm,
Love that. But I love that type of music.
yeah,
So, but yeah.
yeah. Well, your friends are so funny.
Oh, they're horrible. They hate me.
I love them. Well, no, they really don't. They think that you're pretty amazing. I think you're pretty amazing. I've had fun talking to you,
This
but
has been fun.
I think so too. Well, when you decided to start doing this, I mean, I'm a beneficiary of it. I love it. And I love watching everybody else too. But when you started doing this, how long did it take once you actually decided, yeah, we're going to do this? We're going to start. I mean, what did y'all have all of the background that you needed to start?
For the network?
Yeah. I mean, I
Um,
know that you talked to people and about the
actually,
background.
no. So when we finally were like, you know what, let's crap or get off the pot, let's actually really, instead of talking about it, let's actually look into what it would take and stuff. And and it was funny because I was like, well, I'm like this big gamer. I do all this stuff with the computers and all these different things. So I'm like, I should be able to figure that out.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to Google and I'm trying to read all this stuff. And my wife's like, here, watch this. And she puts on like this thing on the Roku and it literally tells you how to do it. And I'm like, oh, and it was like
Wow.
14 videos or something. So I'm like, oh, man, I got this. Yeah, I watched half of the first one. I'm like, nope, that is so above me. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about. And it was
Right.
all this writing codes, and I was like, oh, no way. So then, we were kind of looking around for someone that understood that better than my very small brain.
Yes.
And then we found out that Roku actually changed their policy on this. So it used to be able to write your own code and you could put your stuff on Roku. Then they changed it, which was a brilliant move, right? They changed it to where only Roku had their own code and you had to know that code. So which now you have to go through a a uh, a different business of these code writers to do your thing. So we got with BD Morgan and we found a a uh, a company and we went through this and I mean it was just an ongoing process.
Okay.
And then you had to submit, and Jason knows more about this than I do. You had to submit all this stuff to them. They had to look at it, make sure it's not going to be anything, hateful stuff or anything like that. And then they got to approve it, and it's just a back and forth thing, um, and it's costly. Like it's not cheap. And so yeah, and finally, I mean, I still remember the day when we got approved. Like, and man, we had the phone call, the three of us, and I want to say we had BD on there too, and it was like I remember because back then I was smoking. I was sitting outside my house in the rain, smoking, and like I felt like we were on top of the world. Like you
Yeah.
just get that feeling, and then we got it going, and then it was like I figured, oh, it's going to be really slow. It's going to take us a long time. and we actually did the reveal everything at Collingwood, and Jason will tell you in the chat, J2, we're sitting in this theater, right? And we're talking to people that came out, and we're getting ready to launch. I mean, it was really soon. Like, I want to say within a couple weeks we launched after this event. But we're talking to the audience about it and getting them all hyped up about it. And you look behind us, and up on the big screen in this theater is our logo.
Oh, wow.
And it just, I mean, it was like the most humbling moment ever. And I mean, like, I think Jason maybe even teared up a little bit. Like, it was just so cool to see
Yeah.
your vision right there.
There,
And
right
it
there.
was awesome. And then we launched, and it's just been going, and it's growing. We're loving it. We're having so much fun. We're having so much fun with the people. It's just truly amazing.
Jason said it's still emotional to see it. I bet.
Oh,
I mean, it's such a
100%.
huge deal.
I mean, I sit there and I can flip on my TV right now, go to my Roku, look at all my Netflix and all this other stuff, and there's Dark Realm TV.
Yep.
Actually, Jason and I have made it a point that every Airbnb that we stay at that has a Roku TV, we download the app on it.
I love
But
that.
yeah, but and it's so cool, because like you tell people about it, right? At work or whatever, and like here in town, the local bar that we go to, they heard me talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, that'd be so cool! Oh, good for you!" Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then I remember the day I was like, "Hey, look," and they were like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah, there it is." And they were like, "No," and then they subscribed, and they were like,
Yeah.
and now I see them, and they're like, "Oh my god, that is so awesome," and it's so cool, like, because when you tell people, they're like, "What do you mean you got a Roku channel?"
Yeah.
And it's like, well, kind of like Netflix, but it's all
Yeah.
paranormal and horror stuff. And they were like, "Wait, what?" My dentist, honest to God, my dentist got
I
it
love that.
and had it at the dentist office in the lounge.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
I mean, that is so cool.
yeah. So I mean and it's just truly like humbling. Um, I have my dark rum hoodie sweatshirt that I wear all the time. Hell, I wear it at work. Um, just last week I was at the gas station, and I heard them behind me. They were like, "Dark Realm TV," like the Roku thing. And I turn around and I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Wow, man! Like, you've seen it too and all that." And I'm like, "Yeah, kinda."
Yeah, I've seen
And
that.
yeah, but it's just so cool to see something that people kind of were like, "Oh, the three knuckleheads talking crap again," and it was just so cool to be like, "Yep, you're right. There it is."
Yeah.
And it was
Just
so
talking about it again.
aggravating because it took forever, right? I mean, like Jason said, it's a process.
Yeah.
And they heard us week after week talking about it, and like the hype went crazy. And then it died down because it was like every week, it's coming, and people are like, "Oh, yep, okay." And then it hit. And people are like, "Oh crap." And love it.
Well, you should love it. It's such a big deal.
Oh, it
And
is. Like that has just literally started everything. We, now doing filming with LEP Productions, and they just premiered a documentary that Jason and Gary and BD Morgan and all that put together, which is it's going nuts up in the Toledo area right now. We got this now,
yes, and
the Three
I
J's hot sauce. Like,
yes.
what is going on?
Well, and when I was talking to Jay and Teresa a few weeks ago, and Teresa's like, and when they brought this in, the layering of the flavors, and I had no idea this is what they were going to do, and I'm just like, that's so cool. That's so cool.
Yep. And
I mean, y'all are so innovative and creative.
it's like, why stop now? Why
Yeah,
stop now? It's trust me, there's so much more coming. There's so much more coming.
I would
We just
never
we just
bet
cannot
against this.
we just can't say everything, but there is stuff in the works. Yeah, like it's this literally like starting this whole network. And I can't speak for Jay and Jason, but I know for myself, it kind of not to get all sappy about it, but like it kind
You
of
can get sappy.
it kind of proved to myself that you know what, you're not just the average person. You know, I started this laser engraving business, right? What
Yeah.
the hell do I know about being a business person, right? Nothing, absolutely nothing. But and like it's just like for the laser engraving, you do one thing, and you're testing everything, and everything looks like crap,
Yeah.
and then you have that one product that just absolutely kicks ass, and you're like, wow, like I did that. Kind of like with the network, now you flip on your TV and it's like we did that, the people tagging
Yes.
us and stuff, and it's like wow, so it's a very it's just a real moment, and like I said, for me, it proved that, because I was very, and still am a lot, but I'm a very negative person, right? I'm always negative about myself. I'm like the glass is never half full,
Yeah.
ever. And if it is, something's gonna happen to it. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna tip over, just waiting for that shoe to drop. And this kind of is helping me get out of that about myself, um,
That's the
because
best part then.
it's people are like, oh well, you're going to be successful. Well, what is successful? You know, if you accomplish what you want to do and you love doing it and you have fun doing it,
Yeah.
that's success. You don't
Yes, it
have to be
is.
a millionaire. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice. But
It'd be all right.
yeah, like I'm
So,
not going to be like, no, I don't want that. But do you need it? Like, and it just for me, like I said, it makes me feel better about myself personally. So yeah, Jason just said
yeah,
it. Surround yourself with good people, good things happen.
that's true.
100%. And that's where we are today. And we're still going. We have so many ideas, and yeah, there's so much coming. So much more coming.
Well, you know what? I love what I do, and I love having a platform to do that. So, I think that one of the best things is that you give people like me and everyone else that's on this network doing this a platform. And I can't wait to see what's next with y'all.
We always
I'm
will.
so I'm so
That
excited to be
that's
part
why
of.
we did it. We didn't do this for ourselves. We didn't do it to get rich. We did it for all of you guys.
This one appreciates it. I know everybody else does too.
Yeah.
So, and I am just absolutely out of time, but I have loved every minute of this. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Yeah,
This has been
I
fun.
I have had a good time too.
I have not sat on a podcast in a long time and just talked paranormal and stuff like that. So I love it.
Well, I love the paranormal.
Yeah.
I love investigating. I love hearing about other people's experiences. So, yeah, this is a good conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And for everyone listening, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And we will see you same cat time, same cat channel. I'll be back Wednesday, though, with Paranormal Experienced. And you know what? It's going to be a blast, too. Join us. See you then. Good night.
Night.